It's terrible, all this preparation that I don't do. It's terrible that I just put live on and I start preparing. Because I can't prepare. Oh, see, look, now the microwave. Okay, just I'm gonna put the sound off. Sound off. I'll just unmute for a few seconds. The microwave's on, and because I pressed live too soon. I really should start this all over again, but what's the fun in that? So I'm just gonna mute a little bit more. A few more seconds. Okay, we're back. Did you catch the halftime show? God, fire her. Well, I could not imagine entertain. My God, I told you the other day, right? Do you know how much Super Bowl tickets are? I thought they were like at most $400. Like, oh God, these dicks. But $400. Yeah, I thought, and then like the cheap seats would be 50 to 75, on a Super Bowl. That's what I thought was. But no, the Super Bowl tickets average $8,000 US. I mean, is America that big? But like, are they that big that they think that many people are going to attend? Because is it sold out? I don't really know. The only thing I really know about the Super Bowl is that it's a game played around that show at halftime. Which many of them I ignore. The only one I've ever truly liked is Beyonce when she was debuting Formation. It was really cool. And then also guesting with Coldplay. Was it the same time? I don't know. It was really cool. Gosh, all these people, all these women of color, especially in Fiji, there's a certain kind of woman of color who hates Beyonce. Oh my God. Like, calm down. Oh, she's overrated. Like, what? What? What's wrong with you people? Beyonce is overrated. My God. Anyway, but yeah, hate her. I don't know where I was going with this. Look, I never know. Should this go live?
Well, we are. Right?
Yes, but I seem to have. No, but when I say should this go live, we're just recording it. This angle is awful. And now I'm wondering if I've said anything of any value.
So what are you asking?
I don't know. Like, what am I saying?
Oh, we're not live?
We're live. But what I'm saying is this one the feed of any value? Because I'm talking about a few things and now I can't really remember. And you can't rewind, actually, to go and see, well, what am I talking about anyway? So, look, we're just going to wing it, okay?
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
I was talking about the Super Bowl tickets. That's what I was so astounded by. And but then I think, okay, so if it's something that's from all over the states of America, because this is the World Series and we all know the state of America thinks it's the world. So like, then what? But is $10,000 a ticket reasonable? No, not in a world that's $10,000 could feed a village in some countries.
US dollars.
Yes, I don't really know how I feel about this. And like this other thing I read in Vogue India, which is such a sycophantic publication. Oh, well, there you go. I'm never going to be published by Vogue India. I'm never going to feature on their cover. What a shame for you. No, truly, what a shame. I'm such a prime example of why Indian women get better as we age. It's true. You should have seen my mother. Damn. Yeah, I think that, anyway. But in Vogue India, I read this thing about, these Ambanis, right, who are these billionaires, and the youngest son married his sweetheart. And why does the youngest son look like that? And why is the sweetheart pretty? And that isn't. Why? Why, I'm perfectly happy with seeing a good-looking guy and a not-so-good-looking woman because she's already a woman. Now it has to be a good-looking guy. Come on. I get it. I get it why a good-looking guy has to be with, or why, or that. But like, what? We're just so used to seeing good-looking women because there's a lot of women who look good, not necessarily good, and not necessarily good-looking, naturally. Anyway, but it's crazy that this is the kind of wedding billionaires are having in the world today. And by now we all know that Rihanna played and she got paid about $10 million or something like that. I don't know if that's US or Australian. And then a few days later they debuted Rihanna at Sephora in India. And of course the Ambanis have control, blah, 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 blah. It's all just connected, blah, blah, blah. Rihanna's a billionaire now. By now, $10 million is pocket change for her. She drops it to, going shopping for couture. Ugh, it's disgusting. Would I like to have that? Oh, look, sometimes. But however, I don't know if I could. I know too much now. I know how much value money has, and I don't know if I could just spend it so crazily. I believe in paying for quality. Don't get me wrong. Quality must be paid for. Thank you very much. Artisan, craftsmanship, etc. Excuse me while I cough. Also, Duane is making a roti because we're having roti and curry tonight. Of course, this is the feed. I forgot. We're here for food, for thought. And anyway, where was I? So yeah, but in this Vogue India article, so the bride is saying, yes, they're both from, I think the bride's mother is from this Jamnagar where they got married, etc. It's like, oh, please. And they're like, yes, we have Karma Bhumi here, which is land of duty, and we must give back. We want to start this farm. And like, what? What? You know how you can start giving back? By not having these ridiculous weddings. By not being billionaires. That's how you can give back. Every time you make a billionaire, you go bloody spend it on the people who made you that billionaire. How about that? How about that? How about that being Karma Bhumi? Oh, goodness me. How ridiculous. Anyway, where was I? Food for thought. So what curry are we having, my beloved?
Gobi.
Gobi. Which is cauliflower. Gobi. So. Oh, there's always some strange activity going on opposite us. I never know what they're doing. I'm just going to close this curtain because I really don't want to look into their ugly backyard, by the way. And if you're going to look into a backyard, it should look like our back balcony. Oh, shush, just between us. Keep it between us. Anyway, what was I saying? Dun, 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 dun. The feed, food for thought, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, what is all this ridiculousness? And why do people think billionaires are just the natural thing. So people really think the natural order is imbalance. So it's not equity, and they think equity is this. So equity is the top of the pyramid always gets more. I think, yeah, it's equity is everybody at differing levels all rise, and and if you want more, then perhaps work for it. Then, then be an artist, and especially I think all artists, especially us, what we should be paid for, and we'll keep churning out art. When I say paid for, like just pay all our bills and reward us if because art is what keeps the world alive. Technology is art too. This is how we're all here. Oh, but what's happening? Art is becoming artificial intelligence because what happened to humans? Oh, so sad. I'm still trying to do... Okay, there you go. That's better because I still need light on me. Hello, darling. You've really, really perfected all the roti making. I, on the other hand, have perfected appreciating, which is very easy because the product, the roti, is so delicious. So Dwayne has perfected his technique of making Fiji-style roti, where it's got to be soft for like 3 days after. Oh, it's so good. I mean, you eat it fresh. Ooh, boy! Sorry about that. It's all very simple food. It's not gourmet, ridiculous. I'm not Nigella. Melons. So quadruple cream and plum in my mouth. I'm not making fun of you, Nigella. I love you. I love Nigella. Melons. And she makes everything just sound so luxurious. Actually, a friend has said that I make the most mundane things sound so interesting. And then she sort of said, not that you talk about anything mundane, but I do understand that because sometimes I think maybe I am, like I've been told, maybe I am too much. Bubbles, it is your cue.
Or maybe they're not enough.
Oh, thank you. I didn't expect you to go that far. I thought you were going to say, my darling, you are amazing.
What about you?
But Dwayne first said to me that, well, maybe they're just not enough. And he said it very casually and matter-of-factly. And I was like, But why aren't they enough? Why can't they be enough? Why can't we all just be enough? Why can't everybody have everything that they want? But why do they want more than what they deserve? No? Need? Why do people want more than they need? I don't particularly want more than we need, but we do need enough to fund a lifestyle that loves things. We love things. By things, I don't mean material. I mean, I used to love shopping, yes. But I still do. Look, I can't deny that. But I'm talking about, we have platforms that I would love to be able to employ people. How rewarding it is to pay people well, for work that they get overlooked for or asked to do for free for. How lovely it is for people to actually go, what? You're going to pay me how much to model? How much to photograph? How much to do how wonderful. It feels great. It's not about power for me. Ugh, I don't want power, gross. Power is too... I don't want it. It's not me. I am so... If we were talking in cliche Eurostream movies, right, I'm going to go back to The Fifth Element by, what's his name, Luc? I can't remember his name. Luc whatever. Luc Besson, the French director, and starring Mila Jovovich. It is Jovovich, not Jovovich. I don't know. I love her. I mean, come on. But yeah, Mila was Lilu, a supreme being. Oh, I love her. I love her. I really feel I'm part Lilu and part Ruby Rod, part Diva. Dwayne is definitely Corbin Dallas, and Lilu. But this is really that relationship. If you haven't seen this movie, it's like all good stories about life. The male is there to be the foundation of the woman, of the feminine. The masculine is there. It's energy we're talking about, not binary. Vessels, what? Vessels. Identify your energy. But it was wonderful in Fifth Element. And, oh my gosh. The fashion was done by Jean-Paul Gaultier. It was just amazing. I loved it.
Top 10 movies for sure.
Oh, for sure. Look, curtain, stop curtaining. But it's billowing in the wind. Look, I've had a really, really, really hard week. So when you come out of it, life just feels so, life is beautiful. So that's why, but oh my gosh, yesterday was hard. Whew. Oh my gosh. I really do feel my mother's grief in my DNA. It's wonderful because I gave birth to myself and I took my mother back into me. So of course, because she took all my grief into her. So it's now for me to cradle her because she cried alone so many times. But look, I don't want to talk about that right now. But I feel it all. I feel it all. I feel my mother's pain. And yesterday, I couldn't believe it. It was no longer the brain fry that I am used to. That was mine. This was different. It was just, you were there, my darling. You could do nothing except hold me and rub my shoulders and my neck and kiss my head. When you're...
Lucky I like doing all that.
you know, it's just that healing is still such a tender thing, such a tender time. Oh, when you're doing it without medication, it's... I don't know. I don't know how to say it because I understand why people take medication. I chose not to take it. And, oh gosh, when you don't take medication, it's all just so tender. Anyway, I don't want to really talk about all that. I want to talk about some fun stuff because, you know, I haven't really been sharing a lot of my fun, nutsy stuff. And I don't know how to put that on either, so I think I'm just going to have to talk about all these things that I'm just seeing in the world that I was going to do one take news, but look, I've taken a bit of a burden off myself. I thought that in order to achieve relevance, I must gain fame. But I don't want fame. Fame is such a burden. Fame is such a... It's a responsibility that people don't take, then they make it it's such a costume to wear. And then you've got to do all of the things. You've got to appear places, you've got to wear the things, you've got to do the talk shows, you've got to be charming, you've got to win people over. And I'm like, oh no. No, I don't want to do that. I'm too old. I've done it on a very small scale and it's like, oh my God. Do I have to? They're like, yeah, people really want to see you. I'm like, why? You can watch me on television. You can come to a fashion parade or where I'm singing. You know, why? It's weird. But I get it. If you want to come to a fashion parade, come see me then. Come see me sing. Or come and see me do something. But otherwise, just to come and see me. Like, what? Come and see me talk. Come and see me teach a fashion workshop, which I'm about to do, by the way. Come and see me do something. Otherwise, what's the point? I don't get it. I would never go somewhere just to see, okay, maybe Beyonce. Maybe Angelina Jolie. Maybe Rekha. Some women, they're just going to come and stand there. Yep, I'm there. Okay. But I don't feel I'm that, am I? With you, my husband. You're in love with me and I'm in love with you and I don't really care for anyone else except he's my best audience and I have said that many times. You are my highest accolade except that you just love me. Just you being my highest audience doesn't pay my bills, sweetheart. Because our bills are each other's bills. So we need other people to appreciate us. I sound like such a hustler. What is it I want? I would like my own television series, streaming. Excuse me, I deserve to. Look at us. We don't need to prove anything. We're old. We've lived life. We've got some things. Sure, people may not know us, but who knew the Kardashians' asses before Mummy sold her daughter's vagina? Lord. Getting angry at the fact that her husband became a woman. feel bad. This is International Women's Day, you know. To which I say, and what's changed for women? The pay gap's gotten wider and wider. No country in the world has achieved equality. So what are you saying? What is this? Just to remind us of how freaking miserable it is? Really? All the stats to show this is what happens to women, this is what happens to women, this is what we don't get, this is what happens actually to us. All those stats. It's getting worse. Why? Like, why? Why are all these toxic males masquerading as men, giving men a bad name? Hey, I'm no men's rights activist here, okay? But what's going on? It's weird. Anyway, ta-da! Speaking of men, hello, darling. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know. So what are we talking about today? So I'm just news, huh? I should have had some news things ready. But how about I just prepare something? Just talk about something I prepared sort of earlier. And by that I mean I take a lot of notes over time. Like, listen to this one. This is a topic. I'm having an affair with my husband. And that's what I was talking about somewhere, I think on the Daily Egg, today's Daily Egg actually, and I was talking about earlier because I decided to pay Instagram a visit after a long time, and so we went there. I went there by myself. And I was talking about International Women's Day, etc. I was also talking about this. What's the point of being married if you're going to spend most of your time with your friends? Shouldn't who you marry be your everything? Because that is what everything else is. And so the children of your union are then individual human beings who you send out to the world with great, like, oh, lovely, now we've done so back to each other. I don't know. I'm confused. A lot of people use children to keep together, to stay together, and I think, oh gosh, eeks, no. But then, so many people want children for all the wrong reasons and have them with all the wrong people. Goodness. It's such a huge responsibility, this mixing of DNA, and no one thinks about it. We talk about astrology and stuff, so this is the good thing about what, like, say, Vedic astrology especially. Yes, I'm going to the North Indian stuff. All right, calm down. Hinduism is the world's oldest religion, but it's more about educational stuff and sort of spiritual science, So that's me in my eye. Gosh, darn it. I have to also clear my throat, excuse me. And hydrate. So, I don't know if we'll talk too much longer, darling, because I do like you having music. We usually have music in the kitchen while Dwayne's cooking and we're talking, but, we can't record with, and we like to have music loud, so we can dance, etc., and sing, and you can't have that on YouTube. So, you know what? I would like a visual radio show. I would like a visual radio show, and we'll play music and we'll talk about things, and so that we can play music properly for you. I know a lot about songs. I was a radio person. So that's what I want, a visual radio. Come on, they always say if you just say it, it'll happen. Well, come on. Where is it? Where is it? Sorry. Wow. Look, okay, don't be scared. I was just kidding. Come back. But I'm just, I would like a visual news and arts radio show. And we just talk about stuff, and you cook, and we show you things, we'll take you places. I love the world. The world is so wonderful. The world is so is this roti. Look at this perfection. Excuse me, Bredben. You must close. That, my darling, was wonderful. Dwayne truly has perfected his roti. I'm very sad for you that you won't be able to eat it, because we have talked about, that's my husband, we have talked about going into catering. But I don't know. I certainly know I can't go back into hospitality. No! For those who came in late. The only reason I know hospitality is because I co-owned restaurants with my ex-family, and I was responsible for making one of them very successful. And then Dwayne and me, our team together, well, we just went through the roof because we introduced, Fijian dishes, etc. We were very good at that. Really, if somebody backed us, we'd probably do it because we had such a high standard of service. My standard of service is you know why? Because I have been a privileged and traumatized, let's not forget traumatized, but privileged child from like birth. So I've been going to fine dining restaurants since I was a child. And this is all over the world, and especially in India and Fiji. Fiji used to have the best fine dining restaurants, darling. I have talked to you about this before. I get my love of fine dining from Fiji. Fiji's fine dining hospitality service, oh my gosh, was, because of course in the colonies, the colonials, in the colonies, the natives make very good servants. Don't call them that, dear. Oh, staff. They're good staff. And because, of course, the natives are good at that because they learn to become what it is that is expected of them whilst not losing that exotic flavor. It's just terrible. Oh, God, look, another perfect one. Oh, goodness me. Oh, these rotis, they just stay soft. Anyway. So that was and then I worked the floor, and I never pulled the owner card. I just said that it was, worked here, blah, blah, blah. But people are so weird. They're so weird with brown people. I've never really encountered such racism as I have. Even microaggressive or whatever, passive aggressive or subconscious, like, where did you learn to speak English, dear? I'm like, oh, in England. Mm-hmm. Where did you learn? Mm-hmm. Why don't you know how to speak it properly? Mm-hmm. So crazy. And there are people who are just downright it's like, well, get the fuck out. Except they love our food. They just got so weirded out by us being brown people because we were in a white area. Wow. Crazy. I would say to my ex-stepson, my beloved boy, because he called me mother, and I would say to him, don't say that I'm your mother, because you are a full white, and it will affect you. It will affect you, the way people treat you, if you call me your mother. And he said, so what? I don't care, you are my mother. He's full Euro white. His father identifies as indigenous because of some, grand maternal connection, but he wasn't brought up indigenous, and he was a full, grown old guy when he discovered he was indigenous. Sure, he can identify as that, but none of these people were brought up that way, so they don't quite understand multicultural ways, but oh my God, they're first to adopt it. Crazy. I loved the fact that my respect went up, the fact that, but that's when I also realized not everybody does these things. Not everyone, I know too many people, narcissists who hide behind Jesus and all other religions. I know too many. So many in Fiji. Woo! Anyway, oh my gosh, I did say I was going to keep this line. Where do I always go with this? What can we talk about, friends? Oh, marriage. I was talking about marriage and how lovely it is to actually be with someone you want to be with all the time. We worked together, we're colleagues, that's how we started. And of course, people immediately assumed we were having an affair because we could not get enough of each other. We were instant best friends. But if it was woman, woman, guy, guy, they'd be like, oh man, these two are just like absolute mates now.
Inseparable.
Inseparable. But because we're this and we're whatever, then all of a sudden we're, you know, but I can't deny that I didn't immediately go, oh my gosh, who are you? You are so special. But then the work we did together was just magic. And we were able to develop a friendship over the phone, working together for months and months and months. And then when we, you know, caught up with each other again in Fiji, when I went back 6 months later, it was just like this. The harmony was amazing. Look, it was difficult. I'm not going to deny that. I have not denied that. I've told some girlfriends that I do really believe I fell in love with Dwayne, but Dwayne, being a man of principle, made me just fall in love even more. Because he wasn't meant to be a boyfriend. There's a lot of that shit that happens in Fiji, by the way. I've been propositioned a few times. I'll be your Fiji boyfriend. I'm like, ew, ew. Ew, no. How many times have you been in Fiji? Oh, gross, no. It's really gross. So how many women who are supposed to be married, and I just, because look at what they're married to. Seriously. Look at what most beautiful women are married to. No, not up here, down there. Look at what's, I wasn't married. I didn't have children. I was manipulated into thinking that what I thought was the safest place for me was the healthiest place. But no, it doesn't matter. You know, as I've said, I don't regret my intimate partners. They all elevated from my presence, and my life also escalated, and my opportunities widened. The platform of opportunities, that is a privilege, yes. That widened. We all benefited off each other. And we threw in a bit of love in there and some good times and friendship, because I have known that I can't be with a partner and then him not be the person I want to be with the most. That's stupid. But as I told my ex-partner, all my ex-partners, you're not actually my best friend. It's just that, well, we're together, so that because we're supposed to be the top friend, right? Shouldn't your partner, your spouse, be your top friend? I don't get it. Even, you know, God, even the chauvinistic patriarchal things of harems, there's always a top woman in the harem. That's the one you want to be with the most. Crazy, and all the games played. Anyway, so I have any friends who've messed me over. Woo, friends. And I attract narcissists. I attract narcissistic, misogynist women, sadly, and narcissistic, misogynist gay males, sadly. I know the difference because I also attract really good ones. Both because when I connect with women, it's magic. I love connecting with women. But women are so deeply contaminated by the patriarchy that it's ingrained. Oh, look, I've come here. Become serious again. But life is like that. Anyway, I had started off saying, look, I'm having an affair with my husband. And that sounds stupid to say too, because that was going to be one of our podcast topics, darling, and so I'll continue that there. Because what I mean by that is, it's also a very stupid thing to say, because in our world, we think to have fun with your partner, you've got to be having an affair. Well, that's the person you have chosen to be your top best friend, and you throw in a lot of love making. I mean, I'm with my best friend. I'm married to my best friend. Or I'm with my best friend who I happen to be married to, and we're lovers. You know? Or I'm married to I'm with my best friend, and we happen to be lovers. And we're married. Yeah, it's wonderful. And people will say, oh, we're not all as lucky as you, then, but why not? Why? What's happened? What has happened? I know that I chose my decisions well, so I chose not to get married. I chose not to have children. I may have made some mistakes in the choosing process because the stronger the woman, the more she can get manipulated by the stronger man. Because strong women, nothing makes a strong man look stronger than a strong woman by his side. Or perhaps a not so strong man. Perhaps a male masquerading as a strong man knows that they eventually know the jig is up. It's going to happen, something's going to happen, so they need to get the woman. And that's why, you very rarely see women of a certain caliber, strength, with the man she needs to be with. I am. Finally. And look, I was 50, all right? I was 50. I had to also do a lot of work on myself. I had to make some decisions. I had to be a bit, in order to gain my sense of self, I had to be what's considered rebellious by everyone. My ex-partner started saying, hey, what's happened to you? You've changed. And that's because I was speaking up against something like, don't make a decision for me. I can make that decision, thank you very much. No, I never actually said that. You've made me think that that's what I like, but that's not what I like. Don't manipulate me. I had to learn some things by myself. You're not ever going to. You really do have to save yourself, but you get given some miracles along the way, and that's what happens. Every time you meet one miracle, you get given more. I met some. I was given some miracles, and I answered them. I matched them, and I took leaps of faith. And I don't know if I've ever said this here on YouTube, but I have said it on our Instagram lives before. That for me, the best way to describe this meeting a miracle thing is that leap of faith you have to take. Now, I'm going to go to Hollywood, and a very favorite movie of mine, of ours, something I watched in 1989. I was 18. It was a big deal for me that year. A big deal. I had to make some leaps. So in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and directed by, I think it was Steven Spielberg, yeah? He directed that third one too, of course, that's why they were all so good. Starring Harrison Ford, of course, as Indiana Jones Han Solo. Or Han Solo on Earth kind of thing. And it also featured Sean Connery as Dr. Henry Jones, Senior. Because for those of you who've watched the movies know that there's a reason there's a senior, because there is a junior. Indiana is not quite Indy's name. And also, Indiana was written after George Lucas's dog, which is some sort of Malamute husky wolf type thing. So anyway, I know all this trivia, okay? So in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, right? Oh, there's this incredible scene at the end, nearing the end, which was filmed at Petra, which made me want to see Petra. All that's like, what is this? To find out it was actually real was, what? What do you mean it's real? I want to go there. And I have been there, and it is absolutely fascinating. And I might just leave some room somewhere, or I'll put up a short on it of it later, because this is straight to YouTube, so I don't think we can put any we can't edit it, we can't put little videos in between where I show you what it felt like walking up to the monastery, which is where Indy and Dr. Jones and Salah and Marcus Brody are all riding into to go get the Holy Grail, right? It's so fascinating. It's so wonderful. Anyway, so in the movie, so they're in there. The baddies who turned out to be the Nazis. They spoiler alert, they shoot someone dear to Indy, okay? So Indy has to go and save. Now, all the clues are there. And of course, it's a Eurostream story, so it's all going to be Euro-biblical. So that's what it all is. But it's also beautiful. It's also beautifully told. It's also believable. It's like, yes, but don't you see? This spirituality is magic. It's not just biblical times. And bloody hell, John Williams' score. Oh! John Williams, I believe, is up for his 54th Oscar nomination this year because of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Did we watch it?
Yes.
It wasn't that bad, was it? It was with that Phoebe Waller. Look, it was a bit lay. I shouldn't say that word. It wasn't as. It's not for our generation. This is a generation. We grew up on Steven Spielberg. This is a different generation, and if you have to look at it through this generation's lens. And okay, sure, but I don't quite understand. Look, I don't know. I mean, are they trying to make Phoebe Waller-Bridges the next Indiana Jones, and they made her out to be some, devil-may-care, debonair female, blah blah blah. But they could have done so much better if they actually took. Oh my gosh, why do I always forget Wan Lee? That's Short Round from the Temple of Doom. Because Indy is supposed to have adopted him, and so they could have continued that story with that and the Dial of Destiny. That Wan Lee, Short Round, could be married to maybe an Indo woman, and they have, there's another. There could have been so much more, and why not Lupita? Why this, privileged Euro white girl just because she's killing it in whatever, Killing Eve and co-writing a James Bond, whatever. And a series that she did. I mean, oh my God, everyone find it so funny. And it's like, what? No, I don't. Maybe because I find that sort of all trauma light. And I'm not discounting anyone's trauma, but that Fleabag, she's depressed because her best friend died. Oh my God, I know how that would feel. I wouldn't live. End of story. But that's not trauma to me. I'm sorry, and I know I shouldn't play Trauma Olympics, Trauma Bingo, but it's really all trauma. Really, does your trauma from being bullied in school equate to the trauma I had from being raped twice before I turned 14, and then a few weeks after the second one being bullied by the school senior in front of everyone at the school tuck shop? I don't think your bullying at 17 because you're pretty equates to that. Is this a bad thing I'm saying? This is where I do check my own privilege and I think, really? Okay, think about yourself right now. Where are you? Is there a bomb coming your way? God, freaking well, hope not. And then, okay. And then I get angry because, well, then I'm privileged. I've got safety. I've got food. I'm not, then why am I still so in despair? Why do I feel this never-ending grief? It is terrible. This week has been quite something, I tell you. I have just felt never-ending grief. I felt my mother's grief, as I said earlier, because I have given birth to myself, and then I have now rewound intergenerational trauma. Well, of course you have then intergenerational healing. That's what I think I'm doing. I'm healing my DNA, my mother's DNA, my ancestral DNA, woman DNA. So, I feel it, and I feel her grief, and it's terrible. I feel it so deeply I can't talk about it. It's so bad. But you take it, you sit there by me, darling, you give me your strength. You are the strongest human being I know. You have a core of steel, and you also have no emotions, but that doesn't mean you don't feel. You just have a core of steel with no emotions.
Well, you're the strongest person I know.
Oh, damn it. I know people here listening will be like, well, people here will cite someone from Palestine as being, the strongest people they know. And yeah, absolutely. What I don't understand is why haven't the I don't know. Look, I'm a bit confused about what exactly is going on here. I'm not on anyone's side. Well, I am on the side of humanity, and I am definitely anti-genocide. But I don't wish to talk about all of that right now. You all know what's happening in the world, the atrocities that are happening right now. I feel them so keenly that I have to disengage or I will drown. Also, stress, stress of life. The stress of being a full-time, freelance, creative. Doing, 25 jobs and 2 people and working 25/8. And look, don't begrudge us the times when we can just chill and this seems like, well, this is chilling. Oh, actually, this is... Do I hope to be noticed? Do I hope to be seen as someone who can report on things or orate or, I don't know, maybe. Or I just feel I have a calling. I need to talk. Oh, more puffed rorties. I may need to stop talking soon, my friends. I may need to eat. Anyway. I do have a calling. I really feel compelled to talk about truth. And one of the truths I had to talk about is how women, women, we are, I don't know what we've done. Goodness me, and I still don't know what I'm talking about, but I want to talk about, and when people say to me, gosh, but you're so lucky. I'm like, what do you mean lucky? All my life I've been told I'm lucky. Like, what am I lucky for? What, because I look a certain way and I'm so, you're so lucky. Or because when I get work opportunities, what do you mean I'm so lucky? And this is what I also mean about checking one's privilege. So yes, then I do say, sure, I have more privilege than, people who are getting besieged in their own homes, The world is horrible and I don't know why when it should not be. The world has no reason to be horrible. Human beings have no reason to be horrible, except that we've populated the world with human beings who were born from horror and trauma. And the more we've populated the world with people like this, why weren't we given tests about the kind of DNA that should be combining? Why weren't DNA, like we do this with astrology, and I think I had started talking about that earlier. We do this with astrology. Or people used to, make it a perfect match, see if all the times align. It makes sense to me because too many people of the wrong DNA have combined and created more people who should not. I'm sorry, it sounds awful. I love humanity. Please understand that I love humanity. But it's a terrible thing we've done to people. We rob people of the right to live healthy lives, lives that don't struggle. Lives that everyone can enjoy each other's art, each other's purpose, just to enjoy the sunset. It's everyone's right to look at a beautiful day and go, that's beautiful. Some may want to do it in a mansion. I hope they deserve that mansion and it's not off the backs of people. Some are quite content with just a small place, as long as it's luxurious according to us and it's opulent according to us in that it's full of color, deep, rich color. And it's cozy while also being sumptuous. You don't want to be cozy and like messy. I don't like mess. Oh, you've just been doing such a wonderful job, darling, and I should have filmed it. Thank you. But it's just one of these things. We're talking about all of these things. What do I want? I don't know. But I do have a calling. I feel like I need to speak to other women. Come on, women. And I don't know how to do that. And as I said, I keep getting called lucky, and it's like I'm lucky again, and now people don't want to see how I am because, well, I've got a man, so I'm lucky, I'm fine. And people have said to me, literally, where can I get a Dwayne? And that's really hurt me, like, friend, sister, do you not know that it's got nothing to do with Dwayne? It's actually got to do with yourself. You deserve someone for yourself, who is what Dwayne is to me, but Dwayne is not bought on a supermarket shelf. It does take a lot of work. And I was talking about meeting your miracle halfway, so let me go back to talking about Indiana Jones, that movie. I do digress, my apologies. And so there's a scene where he has to go and decipher all the clues. And he gets to the last one. Oh, this is a kicker, this one. Spoiler alert. Oh, maybe a little bit. But look, you should. If you haven't watched this movie, it's a classic. You should know it. And if you haven't watched it for a long time, this particular scene, more than ever, we need to do this. And we need to change our perspective. And I love it. Because he's got to do something. He's got to take a leap of faith. Oh, a leap of faith, a leap of faith. Oh, they're scary, a leap of faith. But once he takes the leap of faith, oh, and he gets really, Steven Spielberg directs Harrison Ford really well here. And this is how a wonderful harmony between, artisans can happen. Dwayne and I have this, other artisans have it, it's beautiful to see the harmony of it all. Actors are instruments for directors, who are composers, who are symphony, directors, stuff like that. And so Harrison Ford, Indy, he has to put aside all his man of logic thinking, all his, he's a man of science, academia, so he's got to put aside all of that. And he's got to take a leap of faith. Wow. Oh, and he does. Oh, wow. It's like, oh my gosh. I just don't know if I could. I just don't know. I really don't know, but I think that many times throughout my life I have. I know you have. And I think I have subconsciously pushed myself off. Woof. So those of you who remember the ending, who know the ending, wasn't it what... It's always just take that leap and change your perspective. It's really quite lovely, and the reveal. Oh, look, I did say spoiler alert, but it's scary. It's scary. And I love it. And I love when this is what directors, and I guess this is what movie making is all about. They're just blank canvases and they want to show you what humanity is capable of and all our stories. This is what human beings are, not what we wish we could be. This is actually what we are, barring flying stuff. But who knows? Who knows if we evolve in the right direction? Roti's done. Oh my goodness me. And I love that. Love just folds it. We have a butter dish because we're old fashioned like that. Yes, we have a microwave and that's just to heat shit up. Calm down. But now you're going to make the curries.
That's right.
Yummy. So we're still on the food for thought and for your stomach. So yeah, just, meet your miracles. Lucky. I had to really work on myself. I was given, I was like, oh my gosh, am I gifted this for a reason? I really do believe that this is some sort of calling. Maybe I am, oh gosh, this is so grandiose. I know it makes me like, oh my goodness, woman, shut up. I'm going to lock you away. No one's going to put me on an altar and pray to me. Maybe not yet. Jokes, I'm joking. I don't see the responsibility of that. I really don't want it, okay? I don't want to lead. I don't want to rule. I don't even want to be like boss. When we employ people for our magazine, once we get the money to be able to do so, we have no money to do so. So all you people I've promised, I'm sorry, they're not empty promises. They're just delayed promises. I want you to be published on our beautiful platform, but we don't have the funding to pay you, but we will somehow. And all these people's books and stories and artistry I want to publish. Dwayne and I have a publishing house. Anyway, look, where was I? Right, look, I don't even want to be a boss. I just want to have independent contractors, autonomy. Everyone, we'll contract you for a job and you can do your taxes and all that stuff yourself. I don't want to do any of that. I certainly don't want to be, pray, I cannot imagine. Imagine being God, having to listen to all the prayers and there's some real bullshit ones. I mean, have you seen what people ask for on GoFundMe? They're side by side of parents asking for help, getting, medical help for their children, are people asking for boob jobs or being patrons of some, vanity project art thing and stuff. And it's like, well, maybe we should go on GoFundMe for the Starlander to help us fund it so we can employ people and earn a living from it, because we've got such remarkable things we want to do. It's a shame that we've got to dilute our artistry in all, just to pay bills. Why can't we pay bills with our artistry and earn from that? And this is a question I had asked earlier. Why does anyone need more than what they need? Sorry, my darling, I think you may have to take that, or I'll turn the... Dwayne sharpens his... I think there might be a bit of a sharp noise for the microphone. So, but like, as I said, I would like everyone to be able to lead a life where we can all travel and do certain good things that offset the carbon footprint of all of that. And, you know, I don't know, maybe we can make our own land so good we don't feel the need to leave because everyone is enjoying life, that no one is struggling. What is so wrong with this? Why is it such a terrible thing? Because of the... And we know because it's too much balance, then no one profits. But why do people have to profit? Why can't we all just have what we need? And I know what I need. I love traveling, and Dwayne and I want Dwayne to see the world, and I want to go and see the world through our eyes, through our singularity. I want that. I love it. I'm happy to have traveled the world, but I want to now travel it with my husband. You know, and with the clarity I have, I've always respected the world, always. And I would like, I like shopping. I like, promoting artistry, but I also like going to op shops. But, you know, there's always, like, you don't have to buy every day, every week, and you don't have to buy just because it's trending and it's going to make other people covet what you have. You know. Yes, I am lucky because, you know what makes me lucky? I am really grateful I have the brain I have. Is that smug?
Sure.
Okay. But I guess then, sure, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I was born with a brain that didn't I don't know, didn't lie to myself. Oh, look, I don't know, that sounds a bit highfalutin. I did lie to myself a few times. Eeks. But anyway, what are we talking about? So I might make this a bit over an hour, if you don't mind. I know I usually have this an hour, but let's make the feed 1.5 hours today. You know, so I don't know what this greed thing is, why people need to have so much. This is why I don't understand billionaires. I get millionaires, and if you work for it, good for you. Why do you need to be a billionaire? Why isn't that money helping people? Why, when you are becoming a billionaire more and more, are people more and more suffering? Why is there more suffering in the world? Surely people are like, oh, that's not good. Okay, well, let's push $1 billion each back into the economy. What's wrong with that? Then we'll buy again. Everyone's like, I got no money again. Push another $1 billion back into the economy. I don't know. Or like all agree that, okay, let's make things a bit cheaper. Let's pay people much more than they, you know, are getting now. And we don't need to be billionaires, but we can be squillionaires, and, you know, other people can also profit. And everyone, let's just say that every single person over, let's say 14. Or like from, like, say 12 to 18, there's other ways of managing money. But after that, everyone, at the least amount of money anyone ever has in their bank account is $1,000. And there has to be just one global currency. But of course, no one's going to profit off global currency. It's so stupid. None of these things make any sense anymore. This is why there's so much war. Good Lord. Lord. I don't know. Are things ever going to change? Are they ever going to change? I think I had said this on Instagram, that unless there is divine intervention or alien, so divine or spiritual, or no, spiritual or elemental intervention, I don't know. I don't know what's going to change. Now, I'm sure many of you felt or seen, when we all talk about, look, there's something in the air, and a lot of women have been imploding because women need to implode. Too many of us are drowning under some, I don't know, but too many women are imploding, and they really need to go find the men if they want a companion. What I did know is that I wanted a companion because that's what I want. Just one person. I don't need the adulation of an arena. Thank you, you can take that. You can keep all that adulation and power. You can keep power too. I would like some wealth because I know what to do with it. We know how to spend it, and who needs the help, and how to not regulate it. I don't want to monitor. but just be able to create independence for people by employing people. That's what creates independence, but by giving them autonomy, not slavery. By saying, okay, we can do a fair system here, depending on how much, this will give you a really good base thing that you can live life on. But you have to make some choices, and and then don't destroy your life. Have fun. If you're young, have fun. Don't destroy your brains though with booze. Wait till you're older. But of course, we first have to address the issue of why so many children are growing traumatized, because they're being born to traumatized parents, and they're getting traumatized in childhood because more and more people are traumatized and are traumatizing anyone they can. It's not good. It's not good. Anyway, let's make it itchy. So look, I don't know why I'm doing this, and our numbers on YouTube are not high. They're quite low, and I can only hope maybe somebody will discover them 5 years from now, and I hope it's not too late. But they discover them 5 years from now, and by the time I'll be too old to want to be. Really? No, I don't think so. Oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy that I'm heading to 60. I'm looking forward to it. Please understand this. I am vain. I may want to age naturally, because I think the more a woman ages knowing she's beautiful and just getting better, the more everything just, look, gravity is going to take its toll. Everything's just going to go. But I think only older women deserve the right to go and get Botox and all that. So when I'm in my mid-50s, I may think about doing things, okay? I may think about it. I'm heading towards my mid-50s. But I think that older women deserve the right to look fresh again. What's with all these younger women not wanting to look old? It'll, make you woman up. Learn to love yourself old. You will mature really quickly and just feel so liberated. And then you can, if you feel like you want to look a little bit fresh, go ahead. Not young, just makes you look older. All these people wanting to look young. Oh, God. That's your supermodel, and that's your pop star. Olive oil. Go. Look, I don't know. So yes, I think for 60. I've been called brave because I can show my face like this. I don't care if you think I'm ugly. I really don't. Because I feel beautiful. And I feel beautiful because I feel safe. Because I have trust and strength, and I'm loved for me, respected for all of me. Nurtured, nourished.
So beautiful.
Healed. I needed such a man. I needed a man for my femininity to heal. I think I have said this before, I know, but I feel, because this is International Women's Day, right? If you have a good relationship with your mother, that's the kind of man, if you are heterosexual, or that's the kind of partner you should aim for. Not your father, your mother. But like, I'm heterosexual and I wanted a binary, and I wanted a man to my woman. I don't want an inequity, and I certainly don't want dominance, and I don't want to be dominated. I wanted equity. I want a man to my woman. But like with all my mother's wonderful traits, just calmness and strength and core of steel, but kind on the outside. And no ego, no expectations, no putting of own emotions on someone else. Just so humble about their own skills, my mother and my husband. Always making me the star of everything when...
Chilly.
Of course you've got hot hands. So this is why I know I have a calling, because I couldn't possibly have been born to the life I've been born to. And given the gifts I have and allowed to find myself, surely it's for nothing, not for nothing. That's ridiculous. What a waste. I don't think it's a waste. Maybe amongst you, dear viewer, there is someone who is meant to change the world in good ways that evolution then tips back to the good side. Evolution is evolution. Evolution is going to happen regardless of if it's good or apathy won and evil's riding this wave. The perfect evil. Goodness me. Such a heinous thing people do to each other. For what? You know, if you follow the story as to why all these wars are happening, and some are not wars, some are colonization, some are being besieged, the conflict, we call everything a conflict, but sometimes it's not, sometimes it's retaliation. But everything is just so misery porn. There's so many countries that are so ripped apart by terrible things happening to them on home soil, on home soil earth. So I had said earlier that I was feeling terrible grief, so I feel very, very, very sad. And I feel very guilty about feeling that way. I get very sad, like, oh my gosh, I have no reason to feel this way because I'm lucky. But regardless, and I say that the more healing you do, the more clarity you have. And the more liberated you get, the more transparent you feel. But with all that clarity does come clarity. And the ferocity of the memories that just engulf you. So, you know, it's too clear, and I cannot handle watching my mother over and over again in my head getting beaten up. So yesterday I cried and cried and cried and cried, the grief I felt. My mother. This International Women's Day. I can tell you now, I've never ever met someone like my mother. I am an international woman, otherwise I don't really. What is this day for? What has it done? Just drawn attention to more of the trials and tribulations and terrors and horrors women have to do, the teeny tiny, you know, footsteps we make ahead. You know, I do say a lot about Eurostream feminism and the damage it has done amongst women, segregated us. But still they fought for a lot. They did a lot, they fought for a lot, and black women did. And for what? For all these young women to be filtering themselves like that and saying, Happy International Women's Day, while I do it with, like, you know, a filter, making these noses razor thin, like the bow of Captain Nemo's ship Nautilus, which was just a knife slicing through things. What am I talking about? I do come up with obscure references. I wish I could pause, because I've now completely forgotten what I was talking about. Because I started thinking about Captain Nemo's adventures and was like, yeah. And now I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. So anyway, look, let's not worry about any of that. Oops, I haven't put the back. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They make noses. Thank you, my darling. Noses so thin. It's like, why? Who are you fooling? You can't breathe through that nose. Neither could Michael Jackson. It fell off many times. So it's all a bit silly, really. Now look, what did I say how long I was doing this for 1.5 hours. Okay, great. Let us continue, ha ha ha, although it's not lettuce. It is cauliflower. That's gobi, curry. It's cauliflower. But gobi is what we also call cabbage, which is English cabbage. Gobi. And I think maybe I'm mistaken. Look, who knows?
This is full gobi?
Full gobi, gobi full, cauliflower. Makes sense. Cauli cabbage is gobi. But anyway, I was talking about like what's with all this. So you know, all these happy International Women's Day. What? No, this is not Independence Day. We're celebrating our oppression. What is going on here? And you know, a word from what will be all these noble words from professional feminists all over the place. So, and all these Euro feminists and Eurostream feminists. Woo! Yeah, it's tinging on misandry. Women, not feminism is not misandry, because even women who do not call themselves feminists are misandrists, and especially women misogynists. More than ever, you'll find that they're also misandrists. They hate men and they hate women for being manipulated by men, so they're going to take it out on women and manipulate really weak males. Oh gosh, it's terrible. I see a lot. City of my birth. Have I mentioned I'm really, really glad I have never had children? Because I was never with the right DNA, and this is what I was talking about. Why aren't there tests like astrology, like all these Hindu and Vedic astrology things, and even Chinese astrology? But when Chinese astrology, when they predict things like auspicious dates for marriage, etc., they go to their lunisolar calendar, even though the Chinese do adhere to the Gregorian calendar, which is the Roman Catholics' calendar that got implemented 1500s. Before that, it was the Julian calendar. Before that, it was the Roman calendar. Now, no one's ever asked anyone else about their calendars, because there's the Hindu calendar, and let's talk about the Ethiopian calendar, my friends, because they have chosen not to do the Gregorian calendar. They actually have 13 months. We will talk about that another time. Are we going to be doing another live? We were going to talk about, look, we were going to play a game.
Yeah.
So we might talk about all these things that have happened over time. I don't know. Maybe we might do it tomorrow. Who knows? You've been working all day, and look, talking is working. Because I have to think while I'm talking. I don't just open my mouth and everything just comes. I am actually thinking and processing in here before I talk. It's hard. It's hard work, this thinking, which is why not many people do it. Or they don't do it too well. People get to the comfort zone of their understanding, and then they're like, well, this is what I understand, and I'm fine with that. Or the education. So what I'm saying is, DNA should also be like a test. Should these two? And I'm certain that maybe all this astrology did come from actually a testing of DNA, and maybe some sort of stuff that could have happened, like everyone, must have a little pinprick of blood to show the astrology. I don't know if any stuff like that happened. But what if it had to do with, let's just go check their DNA to see if it matches. And I'm talking about ancient now, where they didn't have lenses. But look at what they built with what they didn't have. Look at what we have, and we're still destroying. Look at what the ancients all built with what they didn't have, the things, the machines and implements and tools, etc. Anyway, so I was talking about a whole heap of things. I've forgotten everything. I was talking about the Eurostream feminism, but boy, they have really, really worked hard to make sure that women got some rights and ahead, especially in the templates. Of course, they had to do it for the templates because the whole Euro world runs on the Euro template, except China, India. India, look, I don't know. DNA testing. Like this newlywed, do you really want more people looking like... They're not going to be good looking kids, I'm sorry. Harsh, I know. I've never wanted to have children because I'm actually an ex-stepmother. my ex-partner's children. I brought them up. You know, I've had my own faults. I was parenting under trauma, you know. But I gave them a lot of love. So I do know that a maternal bond exists without having to give birth. So I have never wanted to give birth. That is not what I consider a woman's role to be. I think it is a woman's responsibility and privilege if she so wishes. It is her choice if she wants to give birth. I do feel that actually women should stop or give it a bit of a rest. You know, just a little bit. Oh look, the curry is just currying. But I think that we need to stop having so many people who don't know who they are for starters, and now, you know, don't have much hope because, look, with more and more people coming into a world that has got a rising cost of living, why are people bringing in more children into the world? Can't you wait, or can't you just say, look, you know what? I don't think it should happen. Now, I asked a question. Did I ask it this morning on YouTube? I'd certainly asked it on part 1 of my Instagram live. I asked, trigger warning, by the way, are you living a life? And maybe I wanted to say the harsh one because it is a bit harsh, but okay, are you living a life worth being born for? Are you living a life glad that your mother didn't abort you? She did a lot by bringing you into the world. Too many people do not understand the significance of a mother. However, I also, please understand that just because I have not given birth and have not been pregnant does not mean I don't think I have less significance. Woman is the role, womb is the responsibility, and free will gives us choice. And I certainly chose not to have children, but I absolutely know that the maternal bond exists regardless. You know how I know more than anything? Because the woman who gave birth to my 5 stepchildren, well, she didn't really give a shit about them. And I had to defend them to her. Anyway. But in the end, I guess, skin shades tend to choose themselves. I don't know what happens. But I'm very glad because I made some choices for my life because I wasn't going to suffocate under keeping everybody else happy. I have lived a life that I have been able to be selfish, but underneath it, and this is something you've helped me understand, in my privilege, I have been selfless. I'm not making myself out to be a saint, spare me. No thanks. But because I've always felt guilty, you know? I've always thought like, well, have I done anything? I think I have. I think I have made a difference. I think people have said to me, because of you, I feel I can do this. I think it's nice. But like, it's really like, well, that's because of you and the way you are, and you spark, and I ignite something in you, and it's just supposed to be a chain reaction. That's all I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to just spark you. I don't want to influence you. If I inspire you, great, but understand this. It doesn't matter if you're inspired. Do you have what it takes? I want to ignite you. That's what I want to do. And only those who have that spark get ignited. Lots of people can get inspired. Inspired to do what? A lot of people just want the glory of what. People just see the rewards of being a certain way, and they just want all of that glory, so they want to be famous. I've had people who should not. Although I do admire that they can look at themselves and go, yes, I am like these supermodels, which I really love, that huge spa. Woo, I've taken a Hebrew word, which I love. And I only learn it from reading American literature and watching American movies and stuff. But it's audacity. It's confidence. I love that I love when a person can look at themselves in the mirror and go, I'm great, I'm stunning. But also you've got to have some sort of honesty with yourself, not delusion. You've got to not be delusional about it. Oof, gosh, does that sound a bit judgmental and like I'm still adhering to the societal constructs? It is for me about essence, not about size, not about shape. Certainly not about color. Skin shade. What is that? But I do think that, look, not everybody is meant to be exalted for a certain way. I know that it must be really nice, you want to be a model, but what do you have to give? It's not just enough to you think that you take a really good photo and stand there and you're a model. This is what most people think that they have to do. Yeah. Yeah, nah. I love the confidence of people who think that that's, you know, they can model because they take lovely photographs, but that's not really. And I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but you know, I don't know, I'm not saying stay in your lane either. By all means, explore the other lanes and see whether or not you do fit, because do you contribute? And this is a really hard thing because privilege has always kept those lanes segregated from everybody else. Being someone who has privilege, I understand how, and then even then I'm still kept out of a lot of other lanes. It's like, excuse me, why am I being kept out of those lanes when I know that this is my lane up there. It's the, you know, one where I've been kept out of those lanes by so-called white friends, white women friends. Sorry. I should tell the story of this, this very prestigious writer of ethical and sustainability ways of being in the world, an ex-editor with a prestigious fashion Bible. And, you know, I used to have a design wardrobe and she was writing and everyone just thinks she's like so fantastic. Except if you talk to brown and black women. Excuse me, I just need to clear my throat because I'm really sinking into the story. This may need to be a two-parter or 2 hour. But anyway, oh my gosh, this woman just dines out on how she's the savior of the fashion industry because she writes about sustainability and ethical stuff. And I was her token brown girl friend. She learned a lot from me. She promised me, oh, but I'll tell everyone when they want looking for people, women, fabulous women to interview too. I'll nominate you. I'm like, in Marie Claire, you know. Oh, that's lovely, great. That'd be great because then I can shine a light on Pacific Runway, Pacific designers, etc. Waiting, nothing. But I got placated by a post on her feed saying, oh, because of dusk, she can speak in public again and blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, stupid. Okay. And then she would want to meet, because just before she's got to go somewhere she's got to go and talk at her friend Stella McCartney's name-dropping person. You know, whatever, symposium of ethical design, blah, blah. But can she meet up? Because she wants to meet up with me for brunch, etc. Of course, it's always to just, you know, get some information out of me. And some of the things I talk about. By the way, I am about to launch into my fashion workshops. Stay tuned for that. So she would just come and harvest information from me, promise me something, let me take photographs, and it looks good on my feed, but hey, this prestigious fashion royalty. It's my friend, she calls me friend this and friend that, friend this, holy cow. So, you know, in 2018, so of course she's a star guest at one of the shows I represent. The most prestigious show, Pacific Runway. And, you know, she's there and she's just blah, blah, blah. But afterwards she says to me, oh, look, it's not Stella McCartney, is it? I'm like, well, it's not meant to be Stella McCartney, but that's, Pacific people have ethical and sustainability. But okay, look, you know, there's nothing really here. I have to write from a cultural point of view. I'm like, all right, well, just, okay. And then she's got to write, but she says the diversity is fabulous. Pacific Runway leads the way. And this was published in the prestigious Fashion Bible. Except she published some mistakes. One was about First Nations people, and one was something to do with Pacifica people. And I, as the publicist for Pacific Runway, have to ensure that everything is actually right. And it was a digital story, it wasn't on print, so, there's still time. Anyway, I wrote to her, like, hello, lovely friend. Oh, how are you? Thank you for being blah, 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 placate, placate, placate. Kiss a bit of ass. It was an ever-widening ass. It's like, she's not going to be able to fit into much vintage anymore. Gosh, I'm rude. Oh, so be it. And then, so I write her, and then she writes back, you people are never satisfied. What? And then she writes back quickly, oh, ignore that test, it's just, she's been drinking. Oh. I will do it, best of luck, best wishes, I will correct it. And then, it's like, well, you champion of the, ethical sustainability, and you ride on First Nations backs, etc. And, love coming and talking about the cultural side of Pacific. Blah, blah, blah. You can't correct your mistakes, you drunken fool. You fake optical weakling. You expect brown and black women to fall all over you. And all these Euro white women do. Oh, she's coming. Oh my God. By the way, us brown and black women, we talk, all of us in the fashion sector. And so we're watching you people. Watching you rob us of our information, our words, our hard thought of. Okay. Well, it's your world, isn't it? What I want to know is why the global majority thinks it's theirs. Anyway, my darling, it looks like we're winding down, so I think I can finish it 1.5 hours, because I would like that.
Yep.
Because I also would like to know when it's going to be ready, because I would also love to eat.
About 15 minutes.
Look, I've got to go because I've got stuff to do. Thank you very much for watching The Feed with Roti, Curry and Food for Thought. I know I say a lot of things. I still haven't talked about all this Kate Middleton rumours. Oh, look, I'm not that invested in the British royal family, and I was telling this story about what all the royal stuff and all that means to me. Nothing! But I'm really curious about all of these things because, what if people are right? What if 3 months from now, because they have said, look, she'll be back in civic service, whatever, and royal duties at Easter. What if she doesn't appear? What are they going to say? This is very curious. And it's only March 8th, International Women's Day, my friend. Where's Kate? And so much has happened this year already that, look, I don't know. It's very interesting. Well, for Kate's sake, I hope she's well. But these internet theories are very amusing. I'm very amused by them. So, well, join us tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. And I'm not sure if we're going to be doing this special live that we're doing later. But I had started off talking about the fact that I had read one of the topics that we are going to expand on our podcast, Radio Fly. And this is, I'm having an affair with my husband, and how it feels to be in love with your best friend, and you're making love and you're going, oh my God, but this is my fantasy. And I'm like, how did this happen? Oh my Lord. So, and people say, oh, bitch, you're so lucky. That doesn't happen with everyone. Look, it could, it should. That's what was meant to happen. But so many people got fooled by the surface, by the fake synthetic pheromones, that we ended up making bad decisions, and oh my gosh, so many of us got played. But anyway, look, here we are to save the day. I don't even know if we're allowed to use that, but thank you very much for being here. We will see you when we see you on either the Daily Egg or the Feed, and certainly on the Lives of Our Days, right here on our YouTube channel, STV. Thanks for being here. Bye. Oh, and tell your friends.